There it is, right on time.
Thursday.
I love it. Thursday. Are we going to say it on here? S-H-I-T?
I don't know, it's up to you. Your show.
Whatever.
S-H-I-T. So happy
It's Thursday. All right, tune in. We got a nice one for y'all today. 8 qualities of a good insurance agent. Sounds fun.
The Carrier Experience Podcast is a show for anyone who wants to grow their agency and be a titan of the insurance industry. Learn from a panel of experts who share their agency struggles, their experiences with the nation's best carriers, and share the marketing secrets that successful insurance agents are using today. Now, here's your host, the insurance bro, James Cias.
Never fails.
Never fails. I love it. Alex, you are the man. Thank you so much for that intro again and always. And ladies and gentlemen, here we go. It is that time once again. Before we do jump into the show, though, a quick reminder to please subscribe on whichever platform you're listening to us on. Give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe, drop a review, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, all of those podcast platforms, or if you are watching on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, make sure to follow the Carrier Experience Facebook page and give us a subscribe and a like on the YouTube. We'll really, really appreciate it. It helps us show up higher on search results, and overall, it's going to help us with the whole thing. So please do that for me. I would appreciate it. I love you all so much. Thank you. Anyway, all right. So today's episode, just pulling a little business bros knowledge here, a little business bros trick, and grabbing a article from Investopedia. So this article is from Investopedia. It is 8 qualities that make a good insurance agent. So we're just gonna
know what these 8 qualities are gonna be.
I'm curious too. I mean, I pulled the headlines, but I didn't actually read any of it. So let's take a look and start off with number 1. 8 qualities that make a good insurance agent. Number 1, puts the needs of the client first.
Dude, I mean, it sounds obvious, but let's face it, dude, we are in a business where we get paid on commission. So oftentimes what ends up happening is you get agents that are trying to sell policies based on premium, not necessarily what the client has as a priority, what they need, their interest.
100%. And we've talked about this all week, for the whole 10, 12 episodes that we have been doing this. We've talked about this over and over and over again. Sell on coverage and not on price. I think this is a very common and easy trap for agents to fall into. So many agents out there are just looking to make the sale. And it doesn't matter if it's a state minimum policy for someone who owns a home or, whatever. It's all about selling that cheapest policy, that lowest price policy. But the best agents are really the ones that take the time to get to know their customers, understand what their risk factors are, and take the time to just learn, right? Learn, listen, and put a comprehensive, this is what we say at Pipeline Insurance, put together a comprehensive package of policies to best suit the client's needs. So putting those needs of the clients first is really about, again, understanding what their risk factors are and putting together a good package of policies that's going to help with all of those things.
Which is going to lead to point number 2 here. Good customer service.
Number 2.
I know this sounds like common sense, right? It sounds like common sense, but to me, part of the customer service is the processes that you have in place. For example, there's a lot of processes that you've put together in Pipeline that are back-end stuff. Things like what happens when a submission comes in, then what's the next step and what goes to the next process. Because I think what happens in a lot of industries, especially when you have independent agents that are operating on their own and have never done this before, have never built an insurance company before, things fall through the cracks, right? You send it to underwriting. You don't remember when you sent it, what day did it go in, who's the last point of contact. Having these processes in place helps provide the customer with an experience where it's smooth all the way through. They know they can call in, and everybody who answers a phone can look up that client and see exactly where they're at.
100%. One of the big things about having good customer service is communication. And one of the things that we've done, that we do at Pipeline Insurance, is put together those systems that says, hey, make sure that you call your customer at these times. Make sure that you are checking in with them at these times, especially like you mentioned, the submissions. This is one of the things that makes Pipeline a little bit different from a lot of other agencies. We love new agents. If you are brand new to the insurance industry, you just barely got your license and you don't know exactly how to get started, you don't know what to do, we want to take you on. We are the ones that are going to provide you with the guidance, the training, the markets, everything you need to build your insurance business. And one of the things that we're going to teach you is that good customer service, to make sure that you're reaching out to your customers at the proper times, talking to them about all of their different risk factors. And this is something that you started to mention when you started to talk about the commissions. Every insurance agent out there is just about the commissions. Well, when you're providing good customer service and when you're putting the needs of the clients first, you are actually going to get more in commissions because you're going to sell larger policies and more policies to one customer, as opposed to, a bunch of small policies that don't actually provide the coverage that's needed. One of the things that we talk a lot about is policy density. So that's when you have one customer with 3 or more policies. Our target is 3 policies for every customer. Our target is to have a homeowner's policy, an auto policy, and an umbrella policy with every single customer that we do business with. Anything else above that is gravy. But if you are the type of customer, or if you're the type of agent, who sells only 1 policy per customer, then you're going to have 300 customers that are in and out of your door all the time. For us, we'd rather have 1 customer or 100 customers with 3 policies each and making the same kind of premium, or even better.
And they're going to want to do business with you if you're providing that kind of service. They're not going to want to have policies in multiple places. If you can educate them in what you're doing, if you're educating them in what why you want to bundle their packages, why is it that an umbrella is necessary? Why is it that you want their GL and their commercial auto, all these packages together? It's a matter of education.
100%.
I don't know about you. When I get things, I would rather go to one spot. It's the whole reason why I shop at Walmart. My wife hates going to Walmart, but I like going to Walmart because it's everything in one spot. It's the convenience factor.
Right.
And if I knew that Walmart had something and they educated me on, look, come here and do this process, that's one less place that I got to go to. And your clients think the same way. If you're providing that good service, they're giving you the opportunity to educate them, and so that you get all those policies in one spot and they're not going shopping around.
Right. Good customer service is more than just being nice to your customer. It's really about digging deep and finding out what their different needs are and making sure that we're fitting those needs. There was Ollie, our good friend Ollie from Justice League. Shout out to the Justice League. Shout out to Ollie. He sent me one of his customers, somebody who's getting ready to purchase a home. Young guy, 20 some odd years old, about our age when we first bought our home, right? Mm-hmm. And when he gives me his customers, I understand that his reputation is on the line, and I don't want to do anything to damage his reputation. So I call the customer and I provide them a full education. Hey, look, these are the different coverages. So first of all, here's the price indication, right? And mind you, I didn't give him the cheapest priced one. I didn't show him the cheapest priced one. I just gave him the one that I thought fit best at that time. And so I said, all right, here's an offer. And here's all of the different coverages. Coverage A means this. Coverage B means this. Coverage C means this. And just sitting there providing all of this education. And here's these other extra endorsements that we add. And this is why we add these different endorsements, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Education.
All about that education. And by the end of the call, he's like, okay, this is perfect. By the way, I wanted you to take a look at my auto insurance as well, because, I was on my parents' plan and now I'm getting my own place. So I'm going to have to, get my own policy. And I'm like, this is perfect, because the next thing that I was going to ask you is, do you know where this is going?
What, the next policy?
The question that I ask, did you know that driving your car could cost you your home? And he...
Good job.
And the same thing, right? They're like, what? What do you mean? Let me tell you how this insurance thing works, right? So it's really great to to provide that additional service, that education. That's what's really going to make the difference. That's what's really going to make you shine. And if you're building your agency around the idea of having strong referral partners like Ollie is for us, then you want to make sure to provide that excellent education, that excellent customer service, because again, you're putting the relationship with your referral partner on the line. You're putting their reputation, they are putting their reputation in your hands. So providing the best customer service is about providing the best education that you can to make your referral partner look like a rock star.
Point number 3, and this is a big one for me. Number 3 is having that strong emotional intelligence, right? Look, deals are going to go astray. Not every deal just comes lands on your lap and you close and it's done. There are things that are going to happen. You're going to sit down with your client. They're going to tell you one story. You're going to pull the loss runs, or you're going to pull their driving record, or you're going to do something. And guess what? They didn't tell you about XYZ claims that happened. They didn't tell you about tickets. They didn't tell you about accidents. They didn't tell you about all these things. So having that strong emotional intelligence and realizing that the deal is not always smooth. There's always something that hiccups, something that comes up, but it's completely up to you to maintain your cool, right? To realize that every problem is an opportunity, right? The client is probably hiding things because they didn't know. They think hiding it from you is going to protect them from price or do something like that, right? Yep. But it's up to you to be able to pull that stuff out and keep your composure, right? Don't lose it with the client for sure. Don't lose it with underwriting because you're going to burn some bridges. Yep. Don't lose it with your referral partners, whatever it is. Keep your cool. Take a deep breath. Get back in the groove.
100%. I honestly could not have said it any better myself. There's so much that can stress us out as insurance agents because there's always deadlines, right? You've always got, how many times as an insurance agent have you come across the customer who's like, hey, I need this insurance policy yesterday, right? And it's a, I don't know, $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 workers' comp policy that they, for some reason, allowed to lapse. Right, their previous agent didn't take good care of them, and so they come to you and they're like, "Yeah, this thing just lapsed, and I need it. I need it now. I need it."
I hope you're insured.
I hope so, because those lapses in coverage, man, those are brutal, absolutely brutal. So you've got this person that's breathing down your neck, telling you, "Hey, I need this now," and then you've got another call coming in from somebody else who needs some assistance, and then you've got an underwriter who's not cooperating with you. You're going through all of these motions, trying to get all of these things set up, and like, "Hey, come on, I need help. I need help. I need help. I need help. I need it now. I need it now. I need it now." And all of this stress, man, it's
you end up with no hair like this guy.
We carry such a sense of urgency because our customers and the people that we work with expect that from us, especially this day and age where, we have all of these commercials coming at us all from as consumers. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more. Right. But what they don't tell you is that 15 minutes is like the initial phone call to actually go through the entire underwriting process, finish everything up. It's, another 45 minutes or so, another, it's an hour that you're going to be on the phone with some of those other companies. I'm not going to name names.
You can't handle the truth.
Exactly. The truth is that it's 15 minutes to get an idea of what you're going to pay, but the whole rest of the process takes longer. And good emotional intelligence from us as agents is going to keep our stress levels down. Get that morning routine, get that exercise in, drink lots of water. And, I'm really excited about what step number 4 is, because step number 4, if we do all of these things, we're going to have this high energy level. I don't know. Does it show? Do I have a high energy level?
I hope it does. Yeah.
I hope it's showing.
And here's the thing about you having a high energy level. Sometimes you got to take that moment, right? Sometimes the day's going to get to you and that emotional level is going to peak. So you got to take that little bit of time to just like recenter yourself, right? You do this all the time. Take that 15 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you need. Take that time, recenter yourself, and then get back on the groove. Because here's the thing. We're still we still have a relationship with the client. We still got to pick up the phone and talk to them. We still got to pick up the phone and talk to underwriting. We still got to do all those things. And if you do it from a place where you're stressed out and you don't have that energy level, the other side, the other person on the phone, the other person on the email, they're going to sense that. They're going to feel that. It's not just that aura that stays inside of you. This energy level, you need to have way more energy. It's one of those, and here's the weird thing, for those of you who are doing a lot more Zoom calls, doing a lot more StreamYards and podcasts,
Everybody's doing that,
which is everybody. You have to step up your energy game more than you think, because you might think you have an energy level that's right here, but when you hear it on the radio, on the podcast, right, Mike, or you hear it on camera, it's down here. Right. What other people hear is lower than what you actually is. And it's kind of like those things where you hear back in the day, the camera adds 10 pounds. Well, the camera takes away like a few decibel levels of your energy. So you really have to step it up. If you step up your game and your energy level, the way your clients respond to you, they can't help it. It's infectious, right? It's kind of like James's laugh. If you hear him laugh, right, in a crowded room, you can't help it but to laugh. Sometimes you laugh with him, sometimes you laugh at him. But the point is that energy level is infectious. You have to keep that energy level up.
I'm just going to say this. Most of the time, my jokes fall flat. But then I start laughing and people start laughing with me. How it works.
See? It works.
The high energy level thing, one of the things that I really wanted to say about this is, excuse me, high energy level. Oh shoot. I forgot where I was going with that. High energy level.
Talking about keeping that level up.
What was I saying?
And dude, it happens, man. That happens when it slips. You know what mom says? Mom says it must have been a lie.
It must have been a lie. Oh, that's not good. I don't want to be a liar. I remember what I was going to say. Okay. When it comes to the high energy level, for me, it comes from my passion about what I'm doing, right? It comes from my why. So my why, we've talked about this 100 times. It's to empower others to create wealth for today and generational wealth for tomorrow. So whether I'm talking to a customer, to help them create wealth today because they're in the process of purchasing a home a lot of times, or they're in the process of insuring their businesses. They're in the process of doing something that's helping them protect and create their wealth for today. And then, of course, I want to make sure that I'm protecting and helping them create generational wealth for tomorrow so that this business that they're building, they can pass on to their children, so that this home that they're buying, they can pass on to their children, so that they don't wind up in a situation where they get sued because they don't have enough coverage. They don't have the right coverage. And next thing you know, they're getting their wages garnished by 25%. I love what I do because I come to insurance from a place of service. I used to be the agent that was like, hey, everybody's got to buy insurance. Why not buy it from me? That used to be me. But at some point, I realized that was not going to help me be successful in my business. I really had to come at this from a place of service, from a place of caring about the people that I'm doing business with. That's where my high energy comes from, because I love what I do, because I know that I'm really, truly providing a service and helping people.
And I've been saying it, Miguel. I've been saying it.
I've been saying it.
Saying it. Number 5, persistence. Woo!
Now this is key, dude. This is key. Because look, there's $5 productive activities that you should be doing as a salesperson, right? Lead generate, lead follow up, present, negotiate, and close. Those are the 5 things that you should be doing on a daily basis. If you're not doing those 5 things,
goes for any business, right?
For any sales business. And that's what we're in, right? If you're an insurance agent, you're in a sales business. So those are the 5 things. Lead generation, most of us have been pretty good at that. We got our social media feeds. We're starting to get pretty decent at creating content. That's cool.
We got our guy on the street flipping a sign.
You got all those things, right? You might have a database. Maybe you're a tax guy and you're adding insurance into your office. But as independent agents, if you have an independent agency, which is what we are, right? We're all independent agents. Woo! I am an independent agent. So if you're doing that route, you are in the lead generation business. You're doing that pretty good. Where agents tend to fall off, where salespeople tend to fall off, is in the lead follow-up. They think
100%. I
call one time, I'm done. They didn't call me back. I'll wait for them to call me back. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to call them. I just called them yesterday. It's dinner time. You know what? It's lunchtime. I'll call them a little bit later. Later never happens.
I was going through my CRM today, looking at a bunch of things, and I deleted a bunch of deals that I marked a bunch of deals as lost, and they were lost because the agent didn't follow up, because we didn't do a good enough job of following up. And that's really, to your point, that's exactly, where we fail a lot of times. Lead generation is one thing. It's easy enough to go out there and get the lead. But like you said, if you call once and leave it at that, it's over.
It's over.
You gotta stay persistent.
It never works with just one touch. That's our idea of, the easy deal, right? It falls in our lap. They walk in the door, we write the policy, and it's done. That happens. Just don't depend on that to happen to sustain your business. You have to lead generate. You have to lead follow up, and the follow up is the key. Now I'm talking like 5 or 6 times. I'm not talking 1 or 2 times.
How about
follow
15 to 20 times, like Mike was talking about last week?
Well, those are touches throughout the year, right?
I'm talking throughout the year, but it still falls in that same category of persistence, because sure, if you get the one policy from your customer, that's awesome, that's great. But 15 to 20 touches, having that persistence and building an actual relationship with your customers, like you said, if they walk in your door and the deal falls on your lap, cool, great, awesome. But what more are you doing to make sure that they're fully protected? Did you just take the one policy and leave it at that, or are you going for more? Are you staying persistent in your communications to build the book of business so that you have policy density, like we keep talking about?
That's what we're talking about. All right, next point.
Number 6, honesty. Oh man, episode 8, I think it was, or 9, something like that. Go back a couple. My authenticity is my superpower.
Look, here's the thing about honesty, and when people say, "Oh, I'm an honest person," I'm skeptical, right? Oh, I don't lie. Well, I'm a little skeptical. Everybody lies a little bit. The honesty thing here, I think, for most salespeople, is the omission. Right. And I know we carry an E&O policy. I know we do that to protect ourselves legally. But what I'm talking about when we're talking about omissions is maybe we don't tell them about that policy or that addendum or that rider or whatever it is, or that particular piece of coverage. And we don't say it because we think that maybe it's too expensive for them. Right. Or we say it because maybe, they're probably might not be into it. I think I know them. I walk into their home. I see the car that they drive. They're probably not really going to care about this particular thing. That's not your choice. It's not up to you. You as the insurance agent, you as the agent are there to provide coverage for the things that they need. You lay out the comprehensive package. You lay it out right in front of them. Let them decide. And that's why I'm saying I don't think salespeople are necessarily lying when it comes to this honesty thing. I just don't think they give the client the opportunity to decide what's good for them. They avoid the education part because they fear the price presentation.
That's 100% true. And for what it's worth, I mean, that does set us up for E&O. That does set us up at an E&O risk. There's a good chance that if we don't offer these additional coverages, optional endorsements, et cetera, and so on, that it could cost us in the end when, if we get sued and they have a loss based on that endorsement that we didn't provide. So honesty in that sense is absolutely necessary. The other thing is, admit when you don't know something. It's okay not to have the answer. I do this all the time. I think something that that makes people appreciate me as their agent, if I say, you know what, I actually don't have the answer to that, but I can find it and I will let you know. So instead of trying to lie and BS them and say, oh yeah, this is what this means, blah, 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 and you don't really actually know what it means. Like, again, when we had Mike on the show and I'm like, well, what is the action over endorsement? What does that mean? If I had a customer who asked me, well, what does that mean? I would say, ooh, that's a good question. I'm not sure. Let me get back to you. But, one of the practices that I think we should get into as agents is to make sure that we're offering all of these coverages, offering all of these endorsements, taking the time to learn what they are so that when we get asked those questions, we have the right answers.
Yeah, that's really, really what it's about. It's understanding what you know, what you don't know, and being okay with saying, I don't know.
That actually leads us into number 7.
There you go. A wide array of products. And this is actually, to me, this is kind of contrary to what we mentioned in a previous episode, and what we talk about a lot is to niche down, right? The riches are in the niches. And even though we're telling you to niche down, even though we're saying, you know what, I mean, pick a field and become an expert, even though you're in one small field, one small niche, the products that are available for that niche can be vast. There are a number of different options within that niche, and it's a matter of you figuring out. That's why it's difficult for you to be an agent to everybody, because there are so many products for every single industry, and so many so many addendums, so many parts of the contract, so many different things that underwriting is looking for. If you niche down, you can get very specific, and you'll have those answers like the action over exclusion that you want to worry about. But having a wide array of products is we're still saying niche, but understand what you're offering in that niche.
And again, this is one of the things that we're able to provide over here at Pipeline Insurance. So if you are a brand new agent and you want to start your own agency, you have to go through the process of getting appointed with carriers. You have to go through that process, and a lot of times they're going to ask you for production requirements. They're going to ask you for well, that's probably the big thing, is the production requirements. And maybe you're such a small fish at this point that you don't even know what your production is going to be. That's why we provide that toolbox, so that you have a wide array of products. But the best recommendation, the best advice that we can give is to niche down, find out the industry that you want to serve best. If you have a bunch of friends who own restaurants, well, guess what? You'd probably be really good as a restaurant focused insurance agent. If you got a bunch of friends who are into cars and they're auto mechanics, guess what? You'd do a great job as a auto garage keepers policy, focusing in on that niche. Contractors, construction, all these things. If you focus in on that, we have the markets. We can help you with these various markets and provide you with the wide array of products so that you can be successful in whatever niche you choose.
And if you are interested in finding out more about Pipeline Insurance, at the bottom of the screen, we're scrolling. You can go to www.pipelineinsurance.com/agent opportunities and check out what we have to offer there.
Heck yeah. All right. Last one here. Number 8 is the technical know-how. So this is, again, a big part of what we teach you over at Pipeline Insurance. We have a 90-day massive action onboarding plan, which provides you with all of the knowledge that you need to know about our company, who we are, what we stand for, what we expect from you, what you can expect from us, and then an entire 30-hour sales and marketing course, which includes the technical know-how of how to get into carriers, sell the products, underwrite the business, all of these different things. This is what we do. This is what we do best. This is what we have worked a lot. This is what we've worked on for the past 6 years, is to be able to provide an avenue for a brand new agent who just got their license to come on board with us and be successful, within those first 90 days.
That's what it's about. Like, here's the thing, when you get ready to start a business, you go out, you get a license, and you're spending so much time concentrating on the book work, right? Concentrating on learning how to pass that test. And then you finally pass the test. And what agents realize soon after is the book world and the real world are completely different. Right. So on top of trying to learn insurance in the real life space, there's also the other side of running an agency and trying to get appointments and writing the business and doing all that stuff. There's the business side.
Nobody ever tells us that part.
Nobody ever tells us that part. Or like I think to say,
that's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Right. But that's what happens. So finding a home where you can build your own independent agency, where you have the flexibility to still have your own name, where you have the flexibility to be your own boss, but still have the back end support that you need to manage an office, to how to run your systems, how to get quotes, how to get everything you need, somebody to be able to fulfill some of those back end, dealing with underwriting and creating your illustrations, doing all those sorts of things. That's what we're here for. That's what we've been able to put together.
100%. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for everything that we've done, and I think that we have really built an amazing system that gives brand new agents, newly licensed agents, the opportunity to become rock stars. So that's what we want to help you do. And once again, do please subscribe, rate, review, wherever it is that you're listening to us. If you're on iTunes or Stitcher or Spotify or whatever, please leave us a review. Would love and appreciate that. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube so you can see my ugly mug and the cute little cartoon guy of me. He's much better looking. And don't forget to follow me on all my social medias at Insurance Broham. And every single one of you who's listening, thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, you rock my socks. You have my heart. In the words of the great Mick Foley,
have a nice day.
Thank you for tuning in to the Carrier Experience Podcast. James is a CEO of the Pipeline team of San Diego and is always in the market for top talent. If you are an agent looking for a place to hang your license, visit pipelineinsurance.com/agent opportunities or send an email to newagent@pipelineinsurance.com. You can find James on all social media